So where we're going to start is for people that are new to LifeWave is give an overview of how our technology works, because we have an entirely new approach to activating stem cells in the body. This is not a drug, it's not a nutritional supplement, it's a completely new way of taking advantage of stem cell technology. So let's dig into this first so you can understand why our method is so much better and so much different than anything else you've heard of before. Now, LifeWave technology is phototherapy. So instead of trying to put a drug or a nutritional supplement in the body, we can activate stem cells with light, and we do it all with a patch. Now, the patch does not contain any type of ingredients that goes into the body. That would be what's called a transdermal patch. Instead, we have a non-transdermal technology. That means that there's no ingredients going into the body. Instead, the patch is stimulating the surface of the skin with light. And by the way, this is a technology that I invented and patented, and currently I have about 100 patents that have been issued and pending that are global. So how does this work? Well, with the X39, you can simply apply the patch just about anywhere on the body and it goes to work. Now, the two locations that we recommend for convenience, one is on the back of the neck and the other is below the belly button, and you can of course see that illustrated here. So what happens? Well, you apply the patch to the surface of the skin and the patch is immediately activated by body heat. Now, keep in mind that body heat is a form of light, infrared light. And this will activate the patch and cause it to reflect very specific wavelengths of light that will stimulate the surface of the skin. In science, this is called photobiomodulation, and it's an area of phototherapy, but it simply means that when we stimulate the skin with light, we can cause very specific chemical reactions in the body. Just think about how the sun causes the body to produce vitamin D. It's the same biochemical process. So we use very specific wavelengths of light that are reflected by our different patch products. Of course, today we're going to focus on the X39, but each patch has different materials in it that reflect different wavelengths of light. These will again stimulate the surface of the skin, and this stimulates the nerves. So when we're stimulating the nerves, we can then send a signal through the body that will produce a very specific biochemical change. So in the case of the sun, ultraviolet light is used to cause the production of vitamin D. But we can use other wavelengths of light to produce other biochemical changes. And this is what LifeWave is all about. So then the question is, what benefits can you get from using the X39? And what is the X39? What is it all about? Well, LifeWave has been around since 2004, and we have a line of phototherapy patches. We have patches that are designed to improve energy, improve focus, improve physical performance, anti-aging, and other things as well. And the X39 is similar to these other patches in that the X39 is going to elevate naturally occurring compounds in the body that, by the way, would normally decline with age. But the X39 is completely different than any other product, and as a matter of fact, it's the third generation of our LifeWave patches. The big thing that you'd want to know about the X39 is that people refer to it as our stem cell patch. because this is a patch that's designed to elevate what's called a peptide, which is known to activate stem cells. And if you've seen any of the testimonials, then you already know the benefits of elevating this peptide and activating stem cells are absolutely stunning. And we're going to talk about that a little bit now. Now, the first thing that you'd want to know about the X39 is that it does produce an immediate effect. Now, this is really unusual for a product, and it's certainly very unusual in our industry. And this is one of the things that people love about the X39 is that you can feel it the very first day of use. Now, what's going on here? Well, one of the things that the X39 will do is increase the production of antioxidants and decrease inflammation. So people feel this as an improvement in their energy levels, reduction in pain, and an improvement in their overall well-being. And there's other benefits as well. So most people will notice within the first few days of using the X39 that they see significant improvements in their quality of sleep. So more energy. When we are elevating antioxidants in the body, we can also upregulate or increase the amount of energy that the cells produce. This is a very powerful anti-aging effect, and the way people see this is they notice their very first day, they're not as tired or as fatigued by the end of the day. So this is a benefit you can get from the X39 your first day or within your first few days of using this patch. Of course, another benefit of the X39 is an improvement in sleep. Now, of course, you don't normally associate an improvement in sleep with activating stem cells, and that's because the X39 patch does a whole lot more. But just for the moment, so you know, one of the benefits that you can expect from the X39 is noticing that it will indeed improve the quality and the duration of your sleep. Most people, by the way, that have given us testimonials on this, as well as what we see in our clinical research, is that people report that their sleep is very deep and they're sleeping longer. Now, some of the most impressive testimonials we receive in on the X39 has to do with dramatic stories of pain relief. And some of these benefits just have to be experienced to be believed. People with chronic, long-term knee pain, they apply the X39 patch, and within minutes of application, the pain is gone. Back pain, migraine headaches, arthritic shoulders, arthritic joints. This pain is managed and minimized all within minutes of application. So don't be surprised when you use the X39 that you'll see an immediate reduction in the level of your pain and an improvement in mobility and an overall improvement in how you feel. Now, here's another big one. Now, this doesn't show up immediately, of course, but it does show up starting at about 3 or 4 weeks and through about the first 12 weeks of using the X39. Now, when we activate stem cells in the body, one of the ways stem cells function is to increase the amount of collagen. And so collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. Now, many of us are conditioned to thinking that collagen is in the skin, but it's actually everywhere throughout the body. So you use the X39, you'll increase the production of collagen, and over a period of time, you'll start to notice that the skin will tighten and there will be a reduction in the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So look for those benefits starting at about the 3rd or 4th week and then through about 12 weeks or so. Now, other benefits that people get with the X39 has to do in the area of sports performance. One of the things that stem cells do really well is repair damage to the body. This is part of the natural healing process. So in other words, stem cells are going to be attracted to the site of injury, and then they're going to repair that injury. Now, what does this have to do with sports performance? Well, when we go and exercise, one of the things that we're trying to do is cause damage to a muscle so the body can repair it and make the muscle stronger. So what people have seen with the X39 is that not only is it going to increase the speed of recovery, but also sports performance goes up. As a matter of fact, people are reporting that they're feeling better and performing better than they have at any time in their lives. Now, another benefit that people have reported to us with the X39 is hair growth. Now, this is something that we have not demonstrated yet in our clinical studies, but we are getting these reports from many of our male members. Now, clinical research in this area is interesting because it's been shown that if stem cell activity in the scalp is increased, this would in fact lead to hair growth. So we're going to continue to monitor this, but this is something maybe you should look for when you're using the X39, yet another benefit. Now, something else that we've seen that's been very dramatic with the X39 is a reduction in the appearance of scars. One of the things that stem cells can do is initiate a process in the skin called remodeling. And part of this has to do with the increase in collagen production. It all simply means that there will be a reduction in the appearance of scars. And we have some wonderful testimonials about this. Now, perhaps the most exciting thing about the X39 and some of the most dramatic testimonials that we have received are in the area of wound healing. Now, clinical research has already established and proven that elevation of the compound that we're elevating with X39 causes stem cells to elevate production of growth factors and lead to dramatic increases in the rate at which our bodies heal. So wound healing, of course, is a natural process, and as we age, the quality of our stem cells diminish. So by the time we get over the age of 60, the stem cells are no longer moving very quickly, and they're not releasing the growth factors needed to repair damage to the body. So this is why people over the age of 60 and 70 start to notice they really don't heal either very well or at all anymore. So the X39 helps to support the natural wound healing process, and this leads to a faster recovery. And I would definitely encourage you to check out some of the testimonials that we have on this. Now, youth renewal is part of who we are as a company. We have been developing products over the years in the field of anti-aging, and the X39 is certainly no exception. So what do we mean by youth renewal? Well, X39 elevates a compound in the body that has been proven in clinical research to rewrite thousands of genes to a younger and healthier state. Now, let me put this in context for you. There's around 18 or 19,000 genes in the body that encode for proteins. And as we age, we start to lose access to this information. It's a process genetically that's called hypermethylation, but for you and I, what it simply means is that we can no longer access information in our bodies that we did have access to when we were younger. The X39 changes this, though. There will be thousands of genes that will be reset to a younger, healthier state that we will once again get access to. This means that we simply will have a healthier life and will have more vitality.